Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite actresses of all time, Angelina Jolie. Born Angelina Jolie WELD on June 4th, 1975. She's an American actress, filmmaker, author, and humanitarian. The recipient of numerous accolades including an Academy Award and 3 Golden Globe Awards. She has been named Hollywood's highest paid actress multiple times. Jolie made her screen debut as a child alongside her father, John WELD, in Looking to Get Out, and her film career began in earnest a decade later with the low-budget production Cyborg 2, followed by her first leading role in a major film in Hackers. She starred in the biographical television films George Wallace and Gia, conflicting Gia Marie Carangi, the first supermodel, and won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in the 1999 drama Girl Interrupted, alongside many other actresses. Her starring role as the titular video game heroine in Lara Croft Tomb Raider established her as a leading Hollywood actress. She continued her action star career with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Wanted, Salt, and The Tourist, and received critical acclaim for her performance in the dramas A Mighty Heart and Changeling. The latter earned her a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. Her biggest commercial successes include the fantasy picture Maleficent, its 2019 sequel, and the superhero film Eternals. She has performed a voice role in the animation film series Kung Fu Panda since 2008. Jolie has also directed and written the war dramas In the Land of Blood and Honey, Unbroken, and First They Killed My Father. Jolie is known for her humanitarian efforts, for which she has received a Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award and made an honorary Dame Commander of the Order of St. Michael and St. George, among other honors. She promotes various causes including conservation, education, and women's rights, and is most noted for her advocacy on behalf of refugees as a special envoy for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, a position she held until 2022. She has undertaken over a dozen field missions globally to refugee camps and war zones. Her visited countries include Cambodia, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, Sudan, Yemen, and Ukraine. As a public figure, Jolie has been cited as one of the most powerful and influential people in the American entertainment industry. She has been cited as the world's most beautiful woman by various media outlets. Her personal life, including her relationships, marriages, and health, has been the subject of wild publicity. She is divorced from actors Johnny Lee Miller, Billy Bob Thornton, and Brad Pitt. She has 6 children, with Pitt, 3 of whom were adopted internationally. Angelina was born at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, California, to actors Jon Voight and Marceline Bertrand. She is the sister of actor James Heaven, as well as the niece of singer-songwriter Chip Taylor and geologist and volcanologist Barry Voight. Her godparents are actors Jacqueline Bisset and Maximilian Schell. On her father's side, Jolie is of German and Slovak descent. Jolie has claimed to have distant indigenous ancestry through her French-Canadian mother. However, her father says that Jolie is not seriously Iroquois, saying it's something he and Bertrand made up to make Bertrand seem more exotic. Following her parents' separation in 1976, she and her brother lived with their mother, who had abandoned her acting ambitions to focus on raising her children. Jolie's mother raised her as a Catholic but did not require her to go to church. As a child, she often watched films with her mother, and it was this, rather than her father's successful career, that inspired her interest in acting. Though she had a bit part in those Looking to Get Out at age 7. When Jolie was 6 years old, Bertrand and her living partner, filmmaker Bill Day, moved the family to Palisades, New York. They returned to Los Angeles 5 years later. Jolie then decided she wanted to act and enrolled at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute, where she trained for 2 years and appeared in several stage productions. Jolie first attended Beverly Hills High School, where she felt isolated among the children of some of the area's affluent families because her mother managed on a more modest income. She was teased by other students who targeted her for being extremely thin or for wearing glasses and braces. Her early attempts at modeling at her mother's insistence proved unsuccessful. She then transferred to Moreno High School, an alternative school where she became a punk outsider, wearing all black clothing, going out mooshing, and engaging in knife play with her live-in boyfriend. She dropped out of her acting classes and aspired to become a funeral director, taking at-home courses to study embalming. At the age of 16, after the relationship has ended, Jolie graduated from high school and rented her own apartment before returning to theater studies. Though in 2004, she referred to this period with the observation, "I'm still at heart and always will be just a punk kid with tattoos." As a teenager, she found it difficult to emotionally connect with other people, and as a result, she self-harmed later, commenting, "For some reason, the ritual of having cut myself and feeling the pain, maybe feeling alive, feeling some kind of release, it was somehow therapeutic to me." She also struggled with insomnia and an eating disorder and began using drugs. By the age of 20, she had used just about every drug possible, particularly heroin. Jolie had episodes of depression and planned to commit suicide twice at the age of 19 and again at 22, when she attempted to hire a hitman to kill her. When she was 24, she experienced a nervous breakdown and was admitted for 72 hours to UCLA Medical Center's psychiatric ward. 2 years later, after adopting her first child, Jolie found stability in her life, later stating, "I knew once I committed to Maddox, I would never be self-destructive again." Jolie has had a lifelong dysfunctional relationship with her father, which began when WELD left the family when his daughter was less than a year old. She has said that from then on their time together was sporadic and usually carried out in front of the press. They reconciled when they appeared together in Lara Croft Tomb Raider in 2001, but their relationship again deteriorated. Jolie petitioned the court to legally remove her surname WELD in favor of her middle name, which she had long used as a stage name. The name change was granted on September 12th, and WELD then went publicly with their estrangement during an appearance on Access Hollywood, in which he claimed Jolie had serious mental problems. At that point, her mother and brother also broke off contact with him. They did not speak for 6.5 years, but began rebuilding their relationship in the wake of Bertrand's death from ovarian cancer on January 27, 2017, before going public with their reconciliation 3 years later. Jolie committed to acting professionally at the age of 16, but initially found it difficult to pass auditions, often being told that her demeanor was too dark. She appeared in 5 of her brother's student films made while he attended the UCS School of Cinema Television, as well as in several music videos, namely Lenny Kravitz's Stand By My Woman, Antonello Venditti's Alta Maria, the Lemonheads' It's About Time, and Meatloaf's Rock and Roll Dreams Come True. She began to learn from her father as she noticed his method of observing people to become like them. Their relationship during this time was less strained, with Jolie realizing that they were both drama queens. Jolie began her professional film career in 1993 when she played her first leading role in the direct-to-video science fiction sequel Cyborg 2 as a near-human robot designed for corporate espionage and assassination. She was so disappointed with the film that she did not audition again for a year. Following a supporting role in the independent film Without Evidence, she starred in her first major studio film Hackers. The New York Times critic Janet Maslin wrote that Jolie's character stands out because she scold's even more sorely than her co-stars, and is that rare female hacker who sits intently at her keyboard in a see-through top. Hackers failed to make a profit at the box office, but developed a cult following after its video release. The role in Hackers is considered Jolie's breakthrough. After starring in the modern-day Romeo and Juliet adaptation Love Is All There Is, Jolie appeared in the road movie Mojave Moon in Foxfire. She played Lex, a drifter who united 4 teenage girls against a teacher who had sexually harassed them. Jack Matthews of the Los Angeles Times wrote of her performance, "It took a lot of hogwash to develop this character, but Jolie, Jon Voight's knockout daughter, has the presence to overcome the stereotype. Though the story is narrated by Maddie, Lex is the subject and the catalyst." Jolie's career prospects began to improve after she won a Golden Globe Award for her performance in TNT's George Wallace, about the life of the segregationist Alabama governor and presidential candidate George Wallace, played by Gary Sinise. Jolie portrayed Wallace's second wife Cornelia, a performance Lee Winfrey of the Philadelphia Inquirer considered a highlight of the film. Jolie also portrayed supermodel Gia Karanji in the HBO's Gia in 1998. The film chronicles the destruction of Karanji's life and career as a result of her addiction to heroin and her decline and death from AIDS in the mid-80s. Vanessa Vance of Rio.com retrospectively noted, "Jolie gained wide recognition for her role as the titular Gia, and it's easy to see why. Jolie is fierce in her portrayal, filling the part with nerve, charm, and desperation, and her role in this film is quite possibly the most beautiful train wreck ever filmed." For the second consecutive year, Jolie won a Golden Globe Award and was nominated for an Emmy Award. She also won her first Screen Actors Guild Award. Jolie's next took the supporting role of Lisa, a psychopathic patient in a psychiatric hospital in Girl Interrupted, an adaptation of Susanna Kayson's memoir of the same name. She won her third Golden Globe Award, her second Screen Actors Guild Award, and an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. For Variety, Emmanuel Levine noted, "Jolie is excellent as the flamboyant, irresponsible girl who turns out to be far more instrumental than the doctors in Susanna's rehabilitation." In the 2000s, Jolie also appeared in her first summer blockbuster, Gone in 60 Seconds, which became her highest-grossing film to that point, earning $237 million internationally. She had a minor role as the mechanic ex-girlfriend of a car thief played by Nicolas Cage. The Washington Post writer Stephen Hunter criticized that all she does in this movie is stand around cooling down, modeling those flashy, pulsating muscle tubes that nest so provocatively around her teeth. Jolie later explained that the film had been a welcome relief after her emotional demanding role in Girl Interrupted. Although widely praised for her acting and performances, Jolie had rarely found films that appealed to white audiences, but in 2001's Lara Croft Tomb Raider, she made her an international superstar. An adaptation of the popular Tomb Raider video games, the film required her to learn an English accent and undergo extensive martial arts training to play the archaeologist adventurer Lara Croft. Although the film generated mostly negative reviews, Jolie was generally praised for her physical performance. Newsday John Anderson commented, "Jolie makes the title character a virtual icon of female competence and cult." The film was an international hit, earning $274 million, and launched her global reputation as a female action star. Jolie then starred opposite Antonio Banderas as his Mo Order Bride in Original Sin, 2001, the first of a string of films that were poorly received by critics and audiences alike. The New York Times critic Elvis Mitchell questioned Jolie's decision to follow her Oscar-winning performance with softcore nonsense. The romantic comedy Life or Something Like It, though equally unsuccessful, marked an unusual choice for Jolie. Salon magazine's Alan Barra considered her ambitious newscaster character a rare attempt at playing a conventional women's role, noting that her performance doesn't get off the ground until a scene where she goes punk and leads a group of striking bus workers in singing Satisfaction. Jolie then reprised her second role as Lara Croft in Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life in 2003, which was not as lucrative as the original, earning only $156 million at the international box office. In 2005, Jolie returned to major box office success with the action comedy Mr. and Mrs. Smith, in which she starred opposite Brad Pitt as a bored married couple who find out that they are both secret assassins. The film received mixed reviews but was generally lauded for the chemistry between the two leads. Star Tribune critic Colin Covert noted, "While the story feels hazardous, the movie gets by on gregarious charm, galloping energy, and the stars' thermonuclear screen chemistry." With box office takings of $478 million, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was the seventh highest grossing picture of the year and remained Jolie's highest grossing live-action film for the next decade. In 2008, Jolie was the highest paid actress, earning 15 to 20 million per film. While other actresses had taken salary cuts during the time, Jolie perceived box office appeal allowed her to command as much as 20 million plus a percentage. She starred alongside James McAvoy and Morgan Freeman in the action film Wanted, which proved an international success, earning 341 million worldwide. The film received predominantly favorable reviews. Writing for the New York Times, Manolo Dargis noted that Jolie was perfectly cast as a super scary, seemingly amoral assassin, adding that she cuts the kind of disciplinarian figure who can bring boys of all ages to their knees or at least into their theater seats. After her mother's death in 2007, Jolie appeared in fewer films, later explaining that her motivation to be an actress had stemmed from her mother's acting ambitions. Her first film in 2 years was the 2010 thriller Sold, in which she starred as a CIA agent who does on the run after she is accused of being a KGB sleeper agent. Originally written as a male character with Tom Cruise attached to star, Agent Sold underwent a gender change after Columbia Pictures executive suggested Jolie for the role. With revenues of $293 million, Sold became an international success. The film received generally positive reviews, with Jolie's performance in particular earning praise. In 2010, Jolie then starred opposite Johnny Depp in the thriller The Tourist. The film was a critical failure. Roger Ebert defended Jolie's performance, stating that she does her darndest and plays her female fatale with flat-out drop-dead sexuality. Despite commercially underperforming in the US, the film succeeded in the international box office, cementing Jolie's appeal to international audiences. She received the Golden Globe Award nomination for her performance, which prompted speculation that it had been given merely to ensure her high-profile presence at the awards ceremony. After directing the documentary A Place in Time in 2007, which was distributed through National Education Association, Jolie made her feature directorial debut with In the Land of Blood and Honey, a love story between a Serb soldier and a Bosniak prisoner set during the 1992-95 Bosnian War. She conceived the film to rekindle attention for the survivors after twice visiting Bosnia and Herzegovina in her role as a UNHRC Goodwill Ambassador. To ensure authenticity, she cast only actors from the former Yugoslavia, including stars Goran Kostic and Jana Markonovic, and incorporated their wartime experiences into her screenplay. Upon release, the film received mixed reviews. Todd McCarthy of The Hollywood Reporter wrote, "Jolie deserves significant credit for creating such a powerfully oppressive atmosphere and staging the ghastly events so credibly, even if it's their very strengths that will make people not want to watch what's on screen." The film was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Language Film, and Jolie was named an honorary citizen of Sarajevo for raising awareness of the war. After a 3.5-year absence from the screen, Jolie starred in Maleficent, a live-action reimagining of Disney's 1959 animation Sleeping Beauty. Critical reception was mixed, but Jolie's performance in the titular role was singled out for praise. The Hollywood Reporter critic Sherry Linden found her to be the heart and soul of the film, adding that she doesn't chew an estimable scenery in Maleficent, she infuses it, wielding a magnetic and effortless power. In its opening weekend, Maleficent earned nearly $70 million at the North American box office and over $100 million in other markets, marking Jolie's appeal to audiences of all demographics in both action and fantasy films, genres usually dominated by male actors. The film went on to gross $757 million worldwide, becoming the fourth highest grossing film of the year and Jolie's highest grossing film ever. Jolie next completed her second directorial venture, Unbroken, a film about Louis Zamperini, a former Olympic track star and World War II soldier who survived a plane crash and spent 2 years in Japanese prison of war camp. She also served as producer under her Jolie Pass banner, based on Laura Hillenbrand's biography of the same name. During the filming of Hackers in 1995, Jolie had a romance with the actor John Lee Miller, her first lover since the relationship in her early teens. They were not in touch for months after production ended, but eventually reconnected and married soon after in March 1996. She attended her wedding in black rubber pants and a white t-shirt, upon which she had written the groom's name in her blood. Although the relationship ended the following year, Jolie remained on good terms with Miller, whom she called a solid man and a solid friend. Their divorce, initiated by Jolie in February 1999, was finalized shortly before she remarried the next year. Prior to her marriage to Miller, Jolie began a relationship with model and actress Jenny Shimizu on the set of Foxfire in 1996. In 1997, she said, "I would probably have married Jenny if I hadn't married my husband. I fell in love with her the first second I saw her." According to Shimizu, their relationship lasted several years and continued even while Jolie was romantically involved with other people. In a 1997 interview with the lesbian magazine Girlfriends, she was asked how she felt about being a sex symbol to both men and women. She responded, "It's great because I love men and women." In 2003, when asked if she was bisexual, Jolie answered, "Of course, if I fell in love with a woman tomorrow, would I feel that it's okay to want to kiss and touch her? If I fell in love with her, absolutely yes." After a 2-month courtship, Jolie married actor Billy Bob Thornton on May 5, 2000 in Las Vegas. They had met on the set of Pushing Teen in 1999 but did not pursue a relationship at that time, as Thornton was engaged to actress Laura Dern, while Jolie was reportedly dating actor Timothy Hutton, her co-star in Playing God. As a result of their frequent public declarations of passion and gestures of love, most famously wearing one another's blood in vials around their necks, their marriage became a favorite topic of the entertainment media. Jolie and Thornton announced the adoption of a child from Cambodia in March 2002, but abruptly separated 3 months later. Their divorce was finalized on May 27, 2003. When asked about the sudden dissolution of their marriage, Jolie stated, "It took me by surprise too, because overnight we totally changed. I think one day we had just nothing in common, and it's scary, but I think it can happen when you get involved and you don't know yourself yet." Jolie was involved in a prominent scandal when she was accused of causing the divorce of actors Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston in October 2005. She said she fell in love with Pitt during the filming of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2005, but dismissed allegations of an affair, saying, "To be intimate with a married man when my own father cheated on my mother is not something I could forgive. I could not look at myself in the morning if I did that. I wouldn't be attracted to a man who would cheat on his wife." Neither Jolie nor Pitt would publicly comment on the nature of their relationship until January 2006, when she confirmed they were expecting their first child together. During their 12-year relationship, the couple were dubbed Angelina, a portmanteau coined by the media, and were the subject of worldwide media coverage. They became known as one of Hollywood's most glamorous couples. Their family grew to include 6 children, 3 of whom were adopted before they announced their engagement in April 2012. Jolie and Pitt were legally married on August 14, 2014, and had their wedding on August 23, 2014 at their estate Chateau Miraval in Correns, France. She subsequently took on the name Angelina Jolie Pitt after 2 years of marriage. The couple separated on September 15, 2016. On September 19, Jolie filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. They were declared legally single on April 12, 2019. After Pitt sued Jolie for selling her share of a winery they owned to a third party, she filed a countersuit in which she alleged that he physically and verbally abused her and their children on a plane in 2016. February 16, 2013, at the age of 37, Jolie underwent a preventative double mastectomy after learning she had an 87% risk of developing breast cancer due to a defective BRCA1 gene. Her maternal family history warranted genetic testing for mutations. Her mother, actress Marceline Bertrand, had breast cancer and died of ovarian cancer, while her grandmother died of ovarian cancer. Her aunt, who had the same gene defect, died of breast cancer 3 months after Jolie's operation. Following the mastectomy, which lowered her chances of developing breast cancer to under 5%, Jolie had reconstructive surgery involving implants and allografts, transplantation from a donor. 2 years later, in March 2015, after annual test results indicated possible signs of early ovarian cancer, she underwent a preventative salpingo-operectomy, removal of an ovary and its fallopian tube, as she had a 50% risk of developing ovarian cancer due to the same genetic anomaly. Despite hormone replacement therapy, the surgery brought on premature menopause. After completing each operation, Jolie discussed her mastectomy and operectomy in op-eds published by the New York Times with the aim of helping other women make informed health choices. She detailed her diagnosis, surgeries, and personal experiences, and described her decision to undergo preventative surgery as a proactive measure for the sake of her 6 children. Jolie further wrote, "On a personal note, I do not feel any less of a woman. I feel empowered that I made a strong choice that in no way diminishes my femininity." Jolie's announcement of her mastectomy attracted widespread publicity and discussion on BRCA mutations and genetic testing. Her decision was met with praise from various public figures, while health campaigners welcomed her, raising awareness of the options available to at-risk women. Dubbed the Angelina effect by a Time cover story, Jolie's influence led to a global and long-lasting increase in BRCA gene testing. The number of referrals tripled in Australia and doubled in the United Kingdom, parts of Canada and India, as well as significantly increased in other European countries and the United States. Researchers in Canada and the United Kingdom found that despite the large increase, the percentage of mutations carriers remained the same, meaning Jolie's message had reached those most at risk. In her first op-ed, Jolie had advocated for wider accessibility of BRCA gene testing and acknowledged the high costs, which were later greatly reduced after the US Supreme Court, in a June 2013 ruling, invalidating BRCA gene patents held by Myriad Genetics. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you liked and enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up, hit the notification button and subscribe to my channel. Also let me know in the comments what you think about this video. Thank you. Bye.